life into a golden haze. Romance, they say, is the passion that drives one towards achieving the impossible when things do not seem possible. Love, they say, is the strength that pushes a man, that pushes him even when his body cannot move. Passion, they say, is what knows and holds a woman firm even when the world is on its axis. This is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and this is a special time, a special program dedicated to all the lovers out there. I'd like to welcome you to Heartbeat. Whether you're a young lover or an old flame, this is a program that is designed specially to celebrate love in all its beauties and complexities. On Heartbeat, we like to take a journey down Lover's Lane to learn about love, to grow in it, to promote it, and to foster it, not just amongst couples, not just amongst spouses, but amongst our better brethren, amongst our brothers, our sisters, to reach out and say, love is the only constant which binds us all and goes and transcends beyond race, beyond creed, and of course, beyond time. My name still remains Bucci, and like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And tonight, once again, I have the unique privilege to be your conductor, to take you down Lover's Lane. So fasten your safety belt as we take another ride down love. We're going to take a musical break. When we come back, we're going to dive into the topic of today. Something that is very, very fascinating because this topic was born out of a challenge that was posed to me. And so, this is going to be my attempt to tackle that challenge. And of course, I'm going to open up the phone lines to you out there to assess me and tell me how well I'm doing in taking on this challenge. So whether you're a content heart this evening, wrapped up with that very special person that you call your heartbeat, or maybe you're a lonely heart out there looking for someone to call your own, or maybe you're a troubled heart this evening with questions, looking for answers to your problems, to your emotional or relationship troubles. This is your time. This is your forum. And hopefully, this is your final solution. We'll be right back after this. Keep your dial locked and don't go anywhere. Tuned to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And if you can hear the sound of my voice this evening, I'd like to welcome you to Heartbeat, a program dedicated to all the lovers out there. And of course, my name still remains Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And in the immortal words of Charlie Chaplin, I'm a tramp, a gentleman, a poet, a dreamer, a lonely fellow, always hopeful of romance and adventure. To kick things off this evening, I started off by telling you I was given a challenge by a friend of mine. And she said something to me. She said, Bucci, I like your program. You always try to promote love and relationships. And that's something we pride ourselves here on Heartbeat. And that's something that we champion here on Human Rights Radio, towards the betterment of our relationships, towards better understanding of our partners. But then she pointed out something to me. She said, it's like your messages are always tailor-made to single people. What about doing something tailored to married people? Now, I was a bit complex. I was a bit perplexed by this, because I always felt a relationship transcends, marriage and singles. It transcends, it covers all. And I try to do topics on that general broad basis so that both married people, husbands, wives, spouses, and also single people, boyfriends, girlfriends, anybody can key into these messages and apply them. No knowledge is wasted. And so to feel or to restrict certain things to certain people, because somehow, someday, those single people will become married people. And so learning those tips and tricks, or those key things, and even married people can pick from some of these messages. But then I thought about it and I said, you know what? I'm going to take it up as a challenge. I'm going to put myself within the firing line and do a topic or do a series of topics specially tailor-made for married people. Now, this doesn't mean that if you're single and you hear some of the things we're going to be talking about, this doesn't mean that it doesn't ascribe to you, or doesn't mean that you're not included. My messages are still conclusive, and they're still wholesome, and they're still tailor-made for everyone. But I'm going to be speaking to married people. And so the first thing that popped into my head when she said that, and I decided to take up this challenge, was emotional needs in relationships, in context towards marriage. Now, a lot of marriages, because we feel we're married, we're in it, we already know the ins and outs, we've dated, we don't need to do, we become complacent, we become sluggish, we become lazy. Let me put it that way. We become lazy in our marriages because you feel you've already signed the contract. You don't need to impress your wife anymore. You don't need to impress your husband anymore. You share a home, you have children. The relationship is what it is. But then, like any kind of relationship, it stands like a garden, like a plant. If you don't water it, if you don't put the fertilizer, if you don't put it in sunlight, if you don't allow the relationship, if you don't tend to the relationship, it will die and it will wither. Therefore, it is key and imperative for everyone to make that extra effort, to go that extra mile towards building their relationship, especially when it comes to marriage, tending it, making sure, because there are very key important emotional needs in a marriage that we tend to overlook because we feel we're together. We feel the relationship is what it is, and so we become complicit. Now, I'm going to use this topic, emotional needs. I'm going to highlight some of these needs to you out there, to educate you and to inform you, especially when it comes down to your relationship. Something you can also apply. And if you're single, you can also still key into this. Now, before we go any further, let me just quickly note, or let me just let you know quickly, that here on Human Rights Radio, we stream every program live on our social media pages, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope. You name it, we're on it. All you have to do to catch this program live right now is subscribe. Go on your social media pages, subscribe, share with your friends, and you can actually join the conversation. You can leave a comment out there for us to get in touch with you and know that you're out there. You can also download our app on our app from the Google Store. Just type in Human Rights Radio, download our app, and you can catch any of our programs anywhere you are in the world. Another very good thing about streaming our programs is we have a big library. We catalog our library, we catalog our programming on the internet, on our social media sites. And so if there's a program that you missed earlier in the day, even if it was next week, even if it was last week, you can actually go back there, find a date, reference that program, and watch it again. These things we do for you because we go one step further towards redefining broadcasting. Now, on to tonight's topic. It may have a racy title, but if you're a married person, if you're married, it is very important. And what we're going to talk about tonight is emotional needs in a relationship. It's particular in marriage. And one key point, there's several needs, but one very key point I wanted to talk about tonight is sexual fulfillment. Now, when you're married, and of course, you and your spouse, you promise to be faithful to each other for the rest of each other's lives, till death do ye part. You promise to be faithful. You agree to be with each other and be each other's sole sexual partner. You make this commitment because you've trusted each other, and you trust this person to meet your sexual needs, and that person trusts you to meet their own sexual needs. That means to be sexually available, to be responsive to each other, and so on. Now, emotional needs for sex, these things are very exclusive, and they're very dependent. They are solely dependent on your spouse to meet that need because of the covenant or the contract you've gone into with your partner. You choose to be faithful to one another. Therefore, that sexual fulfillment is embodied in that person. But to be honest, most of us, when it comes down to it, when we break it down, when it comes down to it, most people or most marriages, you find that even in any kind of relationship, you find that there's one partner, one person, maybe the spouse. Usually it turns out to be the husband, but most times you find that there's one person who has a greater need for sex or greater desire for sex than the other person. It doesn't make them a monster, doesn't make them a beast, but we're just human beings. One person's sexual desire tends to be higher than the other, and most times we find it in men. Now, based on this thought, or based on what we're going to hear, just bear with me on this. You see, with that, this creates a significant conflict with a partner, especially when one's desire is higher than the other, and that need is not being met as often as he or she would like, or even the way they would like to be met. That's maybe a sexual preference. Now, that's why, you see, when you have that kind of dynamic, that's why it's very important for you and your spouse to understand which one of you has the greater need for sex and how you can meet that need frequently or even as efficiently or effectively for each other. You see, without understanding, and of course without that understanding and skill, the truth is you're likely to join the majority of marriages where the need for sex is not being adequately met. Now, we learn this a lot. They tell us when you get married, one of the things, whatever problem, whatever argument, whatever disagreement you have, it boils down to two very fundamental things. And married people, if you're out there, I think you can attest to this. Any kind of marital issue or any kind of marital spouse, usually, or 99.999 boils down to two things. There may be varying factors, but two main things. It comes down to money and it comes down to sex. To show you how important sexual fulfillment is in a marriage, because it controls your desires, it controls you. And so if that desire is not being met, it's a problem. Now, most people know that this is back to what we're talking about. Most people know whether or not they have a need for sex. But just in case there's maybe some sort of unclarity or uncertainty, what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to point out some of the most obvious symptoms for that desire or need for that sexual fulfillment. You see, a sexual need usually predates a relationship. This is something that exists even before a marriage. And this exists as an individual within you. And of course, like I said, it's independent of your relationship. It stands out because this is internal. This is your need. Now, while maybe you've discovered you have a deep desire, of course, to let me rephrase it, to make love with your spouse, since you're in love and since you share that relationship with your partner, it's not quite the same as a sexual need. Bear with me on this. There are two very different paradigms. There are two very different dynamics. Making love with your partner, sharing that time with your partner, that intimate moment, is a very different prerogative, or a very different need from a sexual need that you have. Like I said, a sexual need is something that is indicative to an individual. Now, wanting to make love with your partner, it's merely a reflection of wanting to be emotionally and physically close to your partner. That is the difference between that making love with your partner, with your significant other, because it goes deep. It's an emotional connection. It's a type of intimacy, private intimacy with that very special person, that physical closeness with that person. But a sexual desire, however, just that to a clear sign or clear giveaway of having a sexual need or sexual desire is usually tied into sexual fantasies, fantasizing what turns you on in your relationship, what attracts you physically. This goes beyond your relationship. This is something that is individual to you as a person, to you as an individual, as you stand alone. Everybody's sexual desire stands alone to themselves. No, you can't share. Most times, 99% of the time, you don't share the same sexual desire as your spouse, as your husband, as your wife, because that is independent to the individual. Now, like we're saying, what we're talking about now, if you have imagined, let's put it this way, if you have imagined what it would be like having maybe a sexual need being met or being fulfilled in certain ways that are unique to you, that's a clear sign of your sexual need or your sexual desire. The more of a fancy, it is as a fantasy to you, the more you enjoy that fantasy, no matter what it is, that is the greater need for you. Now, the way your sexual need is met, it's a clear indication or indicator of your predisposition towards your own sexual fulfillment or sexual desire. The need for sex, for affection, are often confused with one or another. Let me take that again. The need for sex, for desire, is a totally different thing. Affection and sex are two very different things. Now, let me help you sort this out. Let me put a clear indicator between the two, because many people get it confused. Many people feel that sexual fulfillment or sexual desire is the same thing as affections. You see, let's just put it this way. Affection is an act of loving, showing that affection, physical affection. That's things like hugging, like kissing, like hand holding. Those are signs of affections. And maybe tomorrow, what I'm going to do is, since we're talking about sexual fulfillment tonight, tomorrow I'm going to talk about affection, especially when it comes down to emotional needs in a relationship, especially when it comes down to the context of marriage. There's a difference between affection and sexual fulfillment, and we tend to confuse the two as one. Now, affection, like I said, is an act of love. It's that those little physical things like hugging, like kissing, that you share with your partner, with your spouse, that you can show. It's an act of showing your love to your partner. Now, this act is non-sexual, and it can also be shared with friends. It can be shared with relatives. It can even be shared with children, and even sometimes, let's say, pets. Even some people love their dogs affectionately, but it is not sexual in intent. It is just an act of showing that love. Not sexual, just an act of showing that love. However, if your affection tends to have a sexual motive, it's a clear indication of your need for sex, not your need for emotion, not your need for affection. That's the difference. That's the dividing line. Now, if you tend to feel happy and content when you, of course, make love, and you, of course, maybe you feel frustrated when you don't make love, maybe as often or enough as you want, that's a sign that you are not sexually fulfilled. Now, when it comes to marriage, the key towards avoiding the trap of sexual unfulfillment is communication. Open, frank, honest, raw, intimate communication with your partner. I can't understand a situation where you're married, this is your wife, this is your husband, and you feel shy towards expressing your needs, your wants, your desires with that person you call your soulmate, that person you call your partner, your spouse. This is that one person in the whole face of the earth that, for better or worse, you've chosen to spend the rest of your life with. This person should be closer than you, than your best friend. This person is that person that will see you in your most vulnerable, that you're supposed to be the most vulnerable and most intimate with. This is the person that you should feel totally comfortable opening up and expressing your need. If it's a sexual need or your sexual desire, some sort of preference that you have, this is the person you should be doing this with. But many of us tend to repress those feelings. We tend to push them aside for some sort of maybe being pious, maybe being it's ungodly, or maybe you push that aside. But then this is the person that you've chosen to be with, to spend the rest of your life with. This is the one person you should be open with, and that's where intimate dialogue and communication comes in. And that's also another key need, a key emotional need in a relationship, is intimate communication. And I'm going to take that on a later day. But today we're talking about sexual fulfillment. This is a key emotional need. So husbands, if you're married to your wife, do not forget that even though she is your wife, she's also a woman. She's also a lady. She is also a girl. She is also a human being with needs, wants, and desires. And it is your duty as a husband, as her partner, as her spouse, to fulfill those needs, because if you're not fulfilling those needs, something or someone else or some other way, that need is going to be fulfilled, and it of course will have negative consequences to you. The same charge goes to you as wives. Do not forget, your husband is a man, your boy. He has desires and needs too. So don't feel shy, or don't feel it's not right, or it's not. It is totally right. This is the one place, especially within a marriage, this is the one place that you are given you're given the certificate, the full license to be as open, as expressive, and as free with this one person. Talk. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy to talk about your feelings, your wants, your desires. Share it with your partner. Come to a middle, understand one another. You'll see that your relationship will grow from stride to stride because of that intimacy, that vulnerability that you feel. So don't feel constricted, because once you deprive, whether it's a man or it's a woman, but then let me just break this down. Whether it's a man or a woman, when you deprive yourselves or deprive your spouse of that sexual fulfillment, it can lead to disastrous consequences. So understand the importance of it. It is your sacred duty to each other to be each other's sexual fulfillment. If it means talking, especially, that's why I said intimate conversations, because some people might feel, oh, but I can't meet that need. What this person is asking for is much more than I can give. Or you hear something like, which I've said before on this program, a person telling you, but you know I'm not a romantic person, you know I'm not that. But for your partner, you have to be. Because you, like I said again, you have come together, you've made an agreement. And when you make statements like, you know I'm not a romantic person, you know I'm not this kind of person, it reinforces in your partner's mind, well, my partner is not like this, therefore I should go out. For your partner, you should be. For your partner, I say again, you should be. That's where you tend the garden. That's where you tend the plant. You should be. Step in. Embrace your relationship. Tend to it. Raise it up. Be the desire. Be the apple of your partner's eye. Be their desire. Be that one person, that one constant, that one thing that they look forward to. Don't be shy. Don't be tame. Feel free with your desire with your partner, with your spouse, and you'll see that that emotional need will be surely fulfilled. This, of course, still remains Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and this is Heartbeat. We're going to take a short musical break. When we come back, we're going to continue with this conversation and, of course, open up the phone lines to you out there for you to call in and share your thoughts. What's troubling your heart this evening? What questions do you have about your relationships that you're looking for an answer or solution to? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to prefer you with all the answers we can. exclusive to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And we're going to continue down this journey, Lover's Lane, and continue with what we do best here, and that is celebrating and talking about love in all its beauties and complexities. Right now, I want to open up the phone lines to you out there for you to call in and share your thoughts about what we've just discussed about this evening. We talked about emotional needs in a relationship in context to a marriage. That's emotional needs in a marriage. And we started off by listing one of the main important things. We talked about sexual fulfillment, especially when it comes to context of a marriage. How important it is a need to be met by both parties, by both spouses. So tonight, I want to open up the phone lines to you for you to call in and share your thoughts about the topic itself, and also for you to call in if there's something, maybe if you're a troubled heart out there this evening with questions that you're looking for answers and solutions to. Feel free to call in and we will do our best to prefer you with those solutions. Or maybe you just want to reach out to someone out there tonight and let them know how special and how loved they are. This is the season of love. Valentine's is around the corner. It's never too late to show that very special person how much you love and care about them. Let me use my voice in this medium to reach out to that person for you and let them know that you truly love and care about them. The number to call still remains 081 8999 1011. I'll take it again. 081 8999 1011. Who's that very special person out there that you just want to let them know how you truly feel? Or what is that question? That burning question you have and seeking an answer to. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Right down.
Well done to you too. Welcome to the program.
Okay, yes, this is Malasse.
Malasse, where's Malasse calling me from?
It's calling from Guarimpa.
Malasse from Guarimpa. How's Guarimpa this evening, my brother?
Guarimpa is cool, sir.
Fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you this evening?
Okay, I want to say hi to my loved one. I want to appreciate her. I want to tell her that I really care for her, despite the fact that we are at distant.
Okay.
I still care a lot for her now.
All right.
She's hearing me now. I really want to tell her that I love her with all my heart.
All right. What's her name?
Her name? Hello, sir?
Yes, her name.
Okay, her name is Faith.
Faith. And do you know where she is right now? Like, where is she? Is she within Abuja here, or is she out of the state?
Okay, she's in Kaduna.
In Kaduna. You know, we also reach out to Kaduna. So, Faith, if you're listening to me right now, my name is Buchi from Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and I'm reaching out to you on behalf of Malasse, and he wants to let you know that he loves you and appreciates you and is sending out his love to you, especially tonight and in this season.
Yes, thank you.
All right then, Malasse. Thank you so much for calling in. All right. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you. All right. This is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, this is Heartbeat. Hello. Good evening. Looks like we lost that call. The number still remains 081 8999 1011. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Good evening.
Hello, good evening, my sister. Welcome to the program.
All right, how's work?
Work is fantastic. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
I'm Ifoma calling from Lugbe.
Ifoma from Lugbe. How's Lugbe this evening, my sister?
It's very cold.
Fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you? Hello? Oh, it looks like we lost that call. Ifoma, if you're out there, please call me back. The network is a little shaky, but we're going to make it through tonight, of course. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, my sister.
Sorry, my name is Adaku. I'm calling from Area 1.
Adaku from Area 1. How's Area 1 this evening, my sister?
Area 1 is fine.
Fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you this evening?
Sorry, there is this, she's a girl, a small girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see the reason why that once it's 10, after 10, they will ask her to go and be fetching water.
Adaku, you do know this is a program about love. This is Heartbeat. Yeah. Okay, so this small girl, I don't understand. Is it somebody in your compound, in your area, that they're sending a little child by 10 o'clock to go fetch water?
Is in my area.
Okay. Okay, and so how old is this little girl that they're sending out to fetch water?
I think maybe 9, 10 years.
9, 10.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked her or questioned her about why, who her family or who her caregivers are? Maybe at some point you can at least address the person or let them know that sending a child out, especially in the evening, to go fetch water, especially with the security and safety challenges we have in our country right now. Is there any way you can get in contact with the family to let them know? I mean, to at least highlight them on the dangers.
Yes, and people in the area, they are complaining. So that's why I just heard the program. So I just decided to call because I had the number sent. So
okay,
that's right.
All right.
So
okay.
I feel for her.
I understand. I feel for her too. I think there's a better platform you can actually do that on. But I think on my own part, as a suggestion, maybe there's a way you can, at least as a community, get together, go to the girl's house, to her family house, and at least let her family know. They might not realize the risk involved in such an act, but let them know. But if there's another program we do here, the one just before this. It's called Security and Safety Anyanya, and that's with Posh Lady. You can actually call in from 10 to 11 and let her know, and she can also highlight that. But on my party on this platform, I'm also highlighting because I think it's also, like you said, I share your concern for that child and being put in that kind of a situation. But this is also something.
The parents is not here.
They're not here. Where? Then she must be with a caregiver.
She's living with auntie.
Then there's a way. I think as a community, maybe you should confront the aunt. Let her know. Let her. The child should not be out by 10 in the evening, because you hear things about kidnapping or even sexual assault for children, and these are the kind of avenues, especially like a public area, like a place to fetch water. That's something that's very concerning. I think it's something that you as a community, and even you as a responsible citizen, need to let this woman know, let the aunt know the dangers inherent with such an act.
Okay.
All right then. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a fantastic evening.
Bye.
All right. This is still Heartbeat on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, my name still remains Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
Aramoko.
Pardon?
Aramoko.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't quite catch your name.
Aramoko.
Adam Loco.
Aramoko.
Moko.
Yes.
All right. Could you please do me a favor, Moko? Could you turn down the volume of your radio set? Turn it all the way down, or even turn it off, so that you can. Moko, if you can hear me, you can please call back. And if you're gonna call in, please turn down the volume of your radio set so that you can hear me and I can hear you, and we can communicate freely. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening.
Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
Terry.
Oh, your name is Teddy?
Terry.
Terry. Hi, Terry. Where's
Yeah.
Terry calling me from?
I'm calling you from Kabusa right now.
Kabusa. How's Kabusa this evening, my brother?
Kabusa is fine, sir.
All right, fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you?
I want to have a list of my date. My fiance.
You want to what?
How's she doing? I haven't heard her voice. I haven't
Okay.
heard her voice. All this for what now?
All right.
Because
All
I
right.
don't know that she's hearing this program. So I
Okay.
don't know what happened. She didn't call me or try a line there. Then the number is not going.
All right. What is her name, Terry?
Her name is Susan.
Susan.
Yeah.
Where is she? Where is she located right now?
She's living in Maraba.
In Maraba. All right then.
Yeah.
This is to Susan. This is a special message to Susan, who is a fiance or the fiance to Terry in Kabusa right now. He wants to reach out to you this evening because he's been trying to get in contact with you, and apparently your number is switched off and not going through. And he's showing that concern right now, and he wants you to reach out to him. He, of course, if you can hear me, Susan, reach out to Terry because Terry is worried. Terry is concerned and wants to reach out to you, his heartbeat. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right.
It's been a while.
What's your name?
How's work?
Work is fantastic.
Wow. It's been a while.
All right. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
Right. My name is Alex, calling you from Cuba.
Alex from Cuba. Yes, my brother. It has been a while. Where have you been?
Yeah. Oh no, I've been around, but I've been busy.
Oh, I thought maybe you traveled out of the country or something.
No, my brother.
All right, talk to me, Alex. What can I do for you this evening?
Okay. Actually, I've been waiting for your call. I'm the Alex I called you sometime January.
Yes.
Asked you to hook me up with sugar mommy.
Yes.
You told me I should give you some time.
Yes, definitely.
So I haven't heard from you, so I said, let me call to know what's up with
No, like I said, I put your name in the database, and I think maybe the market right now for sugar mommies is slim, maybe because of the economic situation or something. Sugar mommies are also tightening up their pockets right now. But like I said, I put your name in the database. And I also, I haven't forgotten it. It's still there. Once I get the right match for you, definitely I'm going to send you the contact, and I'll send her your contact so the two of you can actually get in touch with one another. So you're still going to have to be patient with me on that front. But like I said, your name and your number are with me, and they're on our database.
Thank you.
All right. No problem, Axel. No problem. Thank you so much, my brother.
All right, take care, sir.
You too. Have a fantastic morning. This is Heartbeat on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, my name is Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And tonight we talked about emotional needs in a marriage. And the key thing we mentioned tonight is sexual fulfillment. What's your take? What's your contribution to the topic this evening? Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good morning. Could you please speak up a bit so we can hear you clearly? All right, thank you so much. Good morning, my sister. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
This is Farida from Jet.
Farida, you called me yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I tried
Okay.
to, but I don't know exactly which one it was.
All right, okay. Farida, like I was saying, I think the best thing is you go to our social media page. Go to Facebook. Let's use Facebook. You go to Facebook, you type in Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. Like our page, and then you can catch this program live. Just look for we upload our videos almost instantaneously. So just look for Heartbeat. That's my program, this program right now. Leave your comment there in the comment section, and I can then get in contact with you. I know you don't want to speak on air, you want to speak off air, but that's the best way we can get in contact with each other, so that I can get in contact with you and we can talk off air. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you.
All right, Farida. Thank you so much, okay?
Bye.
All right. I'm expecting your message, all right?
All right.
All right, then. Have a fantastic morning. All right. Yes, we talked about emotional needs in a relationship, especially in the context of marriage. And we talked about sexual fulfillment. And I cannot stress how important or how key it is to fulfill that sexual fulfillment in a relationship, especially when it comes to context of marriage. You see, one of the two main problems, I've said this 99 point, in fact, whenever it comes down to relationship, whenever there's some kind of disagreement, especially in a marriage, it comes down to two very key things: money and sex. And that's how important sex is in a marriage. Hello, good morning. Hello? It looks like we lost that call. The number once again still remains 081 8999 1011. Now, we talked about, like I said, the importance of sex in a marriage. And the reason why it's so important, because when you get into that marriage, when you say your vows, you vow to be celibate, you vow to be faithful to one another, meaning that that person becomes your primary source. That person becomes your all in all, your source of your sexual fulfillment. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, my name is Ola.
Ola, welcome to the program. Where's Ola calling me from?
I'm calling from Papi, Abuja.
Ola from Papi. How's Papi this evening, my brother?
It's fine. Sorry, I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I had to call just now about sugar mommy or something. Can you hook me up, please?
Ola, you're looking for sugar mommy too?
Yes.
In this tough economic times, when there's no fuel in town and everybody is trying, you okay?
Is it every night?
No, Mondays to Thursdays from 11 to 11 to 12:30 p.m.
Okay, yeah. Maybe tomorrow I will call back to give my number, please.
All right, okay, Ola. I'll be expecting a call tomorrow then.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ola. Have a fantastic morning. All right. Yes, and like I was saying, when you make that commitment, especially when you choose to get married with your partner, with a husband to a wife to a husband, you have a certain duty towards that sexual gratification of your partner, because if you are lacking in that department, it not only causes friction, it could even lead to your partner seeking that fulfillment outside the relationship, which is something you want to totally avoid. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister. Hello. Could you please turn down the volume of your radio set? Please turn it down so
I've done that. I've done that. Good
Thank
morning.
you so much. Good morning, my sister. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
My name is Halima. I'm calling from Mabushi.
Halima from Mabushi. How's Mabushi this morning, my sister?
Fine, thank God.
Fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you?
My dear, I don't know. I don't know if I can talk to you maybe privately after the program.
Okay, Halima, the best thing, I think, the best thing you're going to do for me, because the way our systems are organized, I can't really talk to you after, but what you're going to do is go to our social media page. Maybe you go to Facebook. You can go to Facebook, just go to our page, Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and click on, right now we're streaming live, so just look for the program Heartbeat. Just leave your comment right there. Leave your comment right there with your name, your number, and we'll see how we can communicate in that regard offline. I know you don't want to talk on air, and it's a safe space for you. We can talk in private and talk offline so that I can keep your problem or story out of course, maybe prying ears that you don't want to listen to. Is that okay?
Okay, then.
All right, please do that for me, okay? Please.
All right, then.
All right, then. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Yes. sexual fulfillment. Oh, before I get back, let me take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
This is Kingsley calling.
Pardon? Your name is what?
Kingsley Eze.
Kingsley Eze. Where's Kingsley Eze calling me from? Kingsley, if you can hear me, please call me back so that we can continue this, or we can talk and continue that conversation that we almost had. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
My name is Timothy from Sun City, sir.
Timothy from Sun City. How's Sun City this morning, my brother?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Fantastic, fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you?
I'm in a relationship with one girl, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a problem together, sir, last Sunday.
All right.
So I don't know. I don't know what to do, sir. So I when I call her, then she refused to pick my call.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll now collect. Then I'll now collect a phone from my friends. I'll collect their phone. Call her. Then she'll pick the call. When she pick the call, then if you hear my voice, then she now end
the call.
Mm-hmm. She don't want to hear from me again.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I need advice from you.
All right. What happened? What exactly caused the problem or the friction that now she doesn't want to answer your calls for about a week now?
We are together last Sunday. Then I now saw call. Someone called her with one number. She saved the number with one name that my joy. Then when I now saw that name, then I start asking her that who is the owner of that number. That's where the
problem ensued. Okay, I understand now. Okay, a situation like that, especially when it comes to questioning a person's trust, especially in a relationship, it can be very touchy, and some people get reactions like that. But then also, when you see something like that, my joy, I understand where your own concern came in. Now, she's probably, of course, she's upset, and that's why she's not answering your calls right now. And when you call her with other numbers, she tends to pick. I think maybe she's still a bit angry right now. You might have to just give her that space to cool down. Some people, when they get angry and their tempers are flared like that, it's like a fire. You have to wait for the fire to die down before you can actually have a conversation, or you can talk about things. Maybe she's still upset. Maybe the argument is still fresh in her mind, especially when it comes to women. Women are more emotional, and so when they're hurt or when they're in pain, that pain goes deeper for them. It's not like a man. We tend to compactualize our emotions. We came to compactualize those situations. So she might still be upset maybe with the argument and the way it resulted and things like that. You might have to give her that space. Or a second point is, since you saw physically and now she's not picking your calls, maybe over the weekend you actually go and see her face to face, physically, and talk with her. First, of course, you apologize for the situation, and sometimes in a relationship you have to be the bigger person. Sometimes you have to be the bigger one and the bigger man. Take that bullet, take the hit. Just, you know what, I'm sorry for the way I reacted. I'm sorry that this happened like this, so that it can open up those lines of communication between two of you. So right now, she may not be answering your calls, but it may come down to you actually going to see her. Maybe you just go and see her one-on-one and talk to her face-to-face. Or another option if you know a family member of hers or a friend of hers, somebody that you both share mutual, you both know mutually, as maybe a mutual person, a friend that both of you know, or maybe you know her sister or know a parent or somebody, you can call that person and talk to that person to actually talk to her on your behalf, so that it can maybe help simmer her down. It can help cool down her emotions, so that it gives you that avenue to then call her and talk with her one-on-one. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
God bless you too. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic morning, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, then.
And you too, sir.
All right. This is Heartbeat on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and it is almost time for us to bring our journey to an end. But I think I just have enough time to pick maybe one or two more calls. So who's going to be my lucky last caller this evening? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my sister. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, my name is Juliet from Dushatu.
Juliet from Gusape, is that right?
No, Dashatu. Guagua.
Guagua, oh, I'm sorry. How's Guagua this evening, my sister?
It's fine, sir.
Fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I'm married for 4 years now, but
okay.
The man I get married to, I don't really have feelings for him for now. So I don't really know what is happening.
Okay.
So yes, I don't know what to do.
All right, Juliet, you've been married for 4 years. When you got married to him, you were in love with this man and you married him of your own free will and your free volition, right?
Yes.
Okay. And right now, the love seems to have calmed down. Okay. Well, the thing is, Juliet, in a marriage, especially when it reaches like when the honeymoon phase, when all that glitz and glamour of the marriage is kind of died down, now this is where the marriage actually starts off. Your honeymoon phase has faded off, and it always happens, especially in the 4th or 5th year of a marriage. We tend to, we fall in and we fall out of love. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person. It doesn't mean that there's something. It's very natural, especially in a relationship, especially in a marriage at this point in time. The thing is, once you get these kind of feelings, there are high points of your marriage and there are low points of your marriage. There are points where you feel very close and very in love, and there are points where you feel very angry and very apart from your partner. It is totally normal and it's totally natural. It happens in every relationship, especially when you're living with someone on a day-to-day basis. It is a natural part of your relationship. What you should try and do is always hold on and hold firm to that love that brought you together with that person. Remember who that person is. Always, always put in mind that this is the person that you have chosen as your life partners to share both in good times and in bad times, in sickness and in health, in love and out of love. Because sometimes, some days, it doesn't mean that you don't love or you don't want to be with that person. Sometimes you just feel out of love with that person. It could be, it's a natural part of, being married. But like I said, it's a phase that will pass. And the way to do it is by always holding firm to that commitment you have made to that person, holding firm to that love that bound you, that brought the two of you together. Remember the good times and always try and do things to innovate and get innovate your relationship, to invigorate it. If it means going out on a date with that person, if it means doing spending some time talking, if it means even having just something new, trying something new, whether it's in the bedroom or anything, just always try and spice up that relationship. But always keep in mind and remember that love. Hold on to that love that you initially shared, because it's that thing that will carry you on, especially when times are hard and things are darkest and when it seems like there is no love. Always tend that garden. Marriage is like a plant. It's like a garden. If you don't tend to it, if you don't put in the effort, it will fall apart. Hello? Oh, looks like we lost that call. But I hope, Juliet, you can still hear me, and I hope we've been able to help you out this evening. And with that, Juliet, who now has become our special lucky last caller, we have to call it a day on the program. I want to thank my producers, and I want to thank the production team of Blessed in the IT department and Desmond in the visual department for streaming us live and making me look this good. You can actually go to our social media pages, like I said, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope. Just like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. Leave a comment, share with your friends, and of course, be part of our family. Or you can also go to the Google Play Store and download our app. That is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. Download our app and catch any of our programming live anywhere you are in any part of the world. Of course, my name still remains Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And we'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same station, with our message of love. But before we leave, I want you to remember one very important thing. There is only one true happiness, one true good way, and one true guide in this life, and that is to love and be loved. So spread the love and have a pleasant morning. Good night.